So I'm just happy again to be here. I probably would have been bored if this was just about what we are. Because if you are that and the message is you are that, that's that. That would be easier. Literally, if you are that, and then someone said, hey, you are that, that would be it. Yeah. You with easy solution, but not a good career choice, literally. No, it wouldn't be, because you'd have to be doing something else to support yourself, because it wouldn't take 30 years of getting the message across, because the lion is the lion, or just like that parable from India, which is the first video we did. And it was it's actually the launching point where other people would say that would be the end or the beginning, but it's actually the launching point to recognize what happens. Yeah, when there is a sudden, clear recognition of what you are, very quickly thereafter, the head is going to arise and claim it. And how does it claim it? It says you are the one that woke up, or you are the one. Yes. And so the parable in the Indian story ended at when the young lion who got orphaned and didn't actually know what it was, its mother died early, and she roaming around, and it got introduced to a herd of sheep and became like a sheep, lived like a sheep, got its hair curled and fucking thought it should be worried about who's going to be in the sweater next year. It didn't have it, but it just to fit in, it started to adapt to all these anxieties and shit like that a sheep have. And a sheep probably have a lot of anxieties because they don't have a great defense system, the predators. Yes. So basically they must live in a certain anxiety, and there the lion was adapting to that anxiety. And you cannot believe how we can adapt to what's actually not comfortable for us, but especially as us. So then that old lion comes into the savannah, sees the herd, and sees there's a young lion and thinks it's joining the hunt, but it realizes quickly the young lion's running with the sheep, not at the sheep, but with it. Old lion, they don't have a huge pages of what the old lion was thinking. He just veers off and tackles the young lion. Doesn't say anything. The young lion does. It says, oh, Mr. Lion. So he knows what a lion is, except it doesn't know that he is a lion. He says, oh, Mr. Lion, please don't eat me. I'm just a humble sheep. Yeah, so the old lion's a little perplexed, just drags it over to the watering hole, sticks both their heads over the water. The young lion sees the old lion's reflection in its own, quite similar. Yeah. That whole dream of being a sheep dissipates in a second. A clear recognition, enough to erase 30 years of sheeping, or 80 years of sheeping, or an hour of sheeping, or a minute of sheeping. Time doesn't change anything. You're a lion. It's not going to take any time to be what you already are, is it? No, because you already it. This is the simplicity of the message. So you think it's over. So the old lion did his job, passed it along. Hey, you're a lion, bro. He has to split. He's got some other fucking responsibilities. He wants to eat one of those sheep. Yeah. The young lion is going to join him now. Probably he'll eat the young lion's sheep wife or something, and probably enjoy every bite out of it. As a lion, as a sheep would be very remorseful. Oh, I killed my wife. As a lion, it's like, wow. See, this is how things change based on where you're looking things from. Yeah. If you're looking at it as a sheep and you killed the sheep and ate some of it, you'd be like a cannibal sheep, ostracized and stuff like that. But as a lion, it's its nature. So young lion's got to split. Young lion can't just be looking at the memory of the imagery of being the lion. Yeah, it has to go, and it has a sheep family and shit like that. So as it starts walking away, the mental state claims the experience, or it's not an experience, the revelation of its nature, and calls it an experience the sheep had. Yeah, not being armed with any understanding. Yes, not being armed with any recognition of this process not being it. It suddenly falls right back into that groove of looking at everything as a sheep. Yeah. So now it's a sheep that had the experience of being a lion for a minute or two. The lion is forgotten again, subdued, drops back, and there it goes. Yeah. So that revelation got neutered, the big cataclysmic reckoning got overridden by the claiming, and the sheep just keeps on sheeping as a lion. Yeah. And so maybe runs into another peak experience or something like that. And the same revelation occurs, and now it maybe lasts a little bit longer, but it goes to work. Everyone calls you a sheep, everyone then the sheep groove kicks in. And now all you can think of is, I had this incredible weekend. I experienced being a lion. I took DMT and fucking something else. I had a shaman, lion shaman, and I got whacked, and man. And yet what's telling all his friends from that experience is the sheep. The sheep had a fucking ayahuasca lion experience. Yeah. Why is that? Because without knowing it, this claiming is going on right below, right underneath our nose. Yeah. And that claiming is mechanical. See, when you get the hit of what you are, it doesn't. It gets a reverberation of it. It does not get that hit. It gets the recognition, the revelation of what you are as an experience that's happening. And therefore, once your inherent condition can be made an experience begins and ends. And then the sheeping doesn't. The sheeping goes on, and now you haven't, what happens, you become like a lion experience hunter as a sheep. Yeah, and it's a rational understanding that if I get enough lion experiences, it's going to override my sheep experience, but it doesn't, because every lion experience gets claimed. Obviously, it is claimed because the lion wasn't an experience, it was a revelation of what you are. It was not an experience of what you are. You would have to be the sheep to have an experience of what you are. You can have tons of experiences as what you are, but not of what you are, because you'd have to be something else to experience it, which is the nature of the message of non-duality, is not to. So there isn't a something else that experience what you are. You don't experience what you are. You're being what you are. And then all your experiences are being as that, not of it. Yeah. This changes everything, because obviously, if you want to relegate your inherent nature as an experience, you're going to have incredible rational anxiety of that it's going to fucking end. Because why? Every experience you fucking had has ended. Yeah. So you're not going to rest in the revelation of I've experienced that I'm a lion as a sheep. You're going to be concerned that it's going to be forgotten and the sheep is going to override everything, which it does. Yeah. And then you're on 30th, 50th peak experience, and now you've made a mountain out of something. Now you've got to climb the Himalayas and go to the highest thing and maybe fucking jet ski down it. Or somehow I've got to ramp up the experience so much to finally put me over the edge and I'll be it. But it doesn't work. Some people, they were great at this, and now they're jumping off a mountain with a fucking jet engine and a glider thing, and they ram into the wall finally. They just kept upping the experience, but it wasn't going anywhere, because you can't change what you are. You are that. Yeah. All your acquiring awareness, which is not something to acquire, doesn't add to the infinite awareness that you are. This isn't about adding and subtracting. It's not about getting and losing. It's not about, I got to be super interested in this and lose interest in something else. No, you lose interest in something else, and that's that. Yeah. You lose interest in what you're not, and that's that. And you can't lose interest in what you're not as what you're not. So the point, the message is when you hear it enough, hopefully you'll get that what you're living as, or the narration you're listening to, is about a long-lasting, independent, separate thing. That's the doer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher, the end all, the be all. Yes? And you're not. Yeah. Hallelujah. So now you tell the truth about you've assumed to be you, that you lived as if it was you, that all your desires were determined based on it being you, is not you. And what happens? There's a loss of interest in it. Yeah, it's not what you're not, losing interest in what you're not, it's what you are, recognizing it's not that, and then there's a migration of interest. That's, I would describe it that way. Yeah, what happens? I don't know. You can't describe it. When you're interested in being the sheep, it's going to be difficult to describe what it's like to be based on a lion. Yeah, so it's best to leave what it's going to be like alone and just talk about what it's like now. Yeah, with the hopes that you'll see it's not you, and then you'll be open to the revelation of what you are through this experience of being what you're not. Hallelujah. What a good way to roll, eh? So this is the message that hit me. Obviously, a lot of the curios and the periods and the emphasis have changed over time, but it was basically the warning of what happens, yeah, with whatever revelation will occur, that there'll be a mechanical claiming of it by the mental activity, and that mental activity, yeah, that's where I will start. Instead of seeing it from what's before it, I'll be looking from it, yeah. And I truly was brought to a point in this job, in this seat assignment, that if you don't see this, you're looking from it. You're going to be looking from it. So if you don't see the activity of the head claiming the lion revelation as an experience the sheep had, you're going to be trying to get this message as a sheep. And this is, the message is about not being a sheep. It's not for the sheep. Yeah, that's why it's hopefully missing you, because you construed to me the sheep. So the best thing we want to do is miss the sheep, but I have great confidence if you are what they say, you're everywhere, all powerful, all knowing, then I can't miss you. I can throw it under this way, toss it. All I got to do is miss you. That's it. I can't miss it. I've got to miss you. And so how we've done it, or how I saw it happen with our talks, is we just overwhelm the system. We don't take, okay, let's take a deep breath. Remember where we already are. Why do you have to remember where you already are? That's insane to me. So just, let's take it to, because I believe the head's just regrouping. Every time you give it a few seconds, oh, it loves it. It loves it. So you want to overwhelm it because it's like a non-dual juggling. It's like the juggling is two things. Yeah, it's used to take any revelation will be turned into an experience. It's really good at it. But if you throw some extra shit in there, it breaks this fucking rhythm, and then you see all this movements in the rawness, like the emperor with no clothes. Yeah, you see it. Yeah, you take the balls away, it keeps doing the same thing. It's just mechanical. There's no choice involved. This is not something else to be guilty about. Didn't when you heard like in something that you separated from the Godhead, what did that bring about? Guilt, didn't it? I felt fucking terrible. I felt terrible enough for not giving my mother money. Now you're telling me I've separated from the Godhead. I mean, why would Paul do that? It seems like a really bad move. Yeah, this ownership of shit we have nothing to do with just promotes a lot of guilt and shame. So this isn't about that. This is about, okay, you're the one who fucked everything up, and now you're gonna be the one that's gonna unfuck everything up. No, you're not the one that fucked everything up. Yeah. Does that mean you don't take care of business? No. If you owe amends, you make amends, but you're not the one that fucked up. Hallelujah. You're not the one that hates yourself. You're not the one that makes you your own worst enemy. No, that's not you. That isn't. This is hot now. Eh? Can we turn that on?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm also the custodian at the meeting. I have a lot of roles here. I'm the custodian. Yeah, I don't know if it is.
I'll take care of that.
I think it is, there it is. Sure. Yes, everyone comfortable? Yes, everyone, anyone need any water or anything? Okay, yeah, okay, you okay? You need to borrow some money from the Zen Bitch Slap Bank of Forgetfulness? All right, I'm back again. So yes, do you see it, please? You have to see you have to see this sheep and lion story, yes? It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Now, would it have been any different if the lion had been taking itself to be a sheep for 30 years than if it's taking itself to be a sheep for 5 seconds? Has it changed the lion any? Will the lion be changed almost into a sheep if you take yourself to be a sheep? Maybe not after 30 years, you basically, your hair is curling again and shit like that. No. And does it have anything to do with space? Then some other places, I'm gonna be more of a sheep than at other places. It's gonna take longer to become a lion. No, you are a lion. Yeah. No time or space is needed to become what you are. And no time and space is going to take you away in what you are. Yeah, no time and space. Like the thing we used to talk about a lot with the, many of us have a place to live today in this room, I hope, yeah. We slept somewhere, probably comfortably, and we're here now. And being here now, does it cause us to forget that we have a place to sleep by coming to Marin City? Do I need to have a picture of my room and my bed while I'm working? Do I like attend my coffee break? I forgo the coffee and I just chant, I have a house, I have a house. Is it that easily forgotten that I have? Or is it a knowledge, not like a senile forgetting thing, but an undercurrent knowing of what you are? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. An undercovering knowing of what you are, and no matter how far away you are, you still know you have a house. And no matter how long you're away, it still doesn't convince you don't have a house. Yeah. So time and space has no effect on this knowledge, none. This knowledge is like the atmospheric, let's say, the cloud system of I am. Yeah. So us being existence right now, no matter how much the head has claimed it to imply, this is the evidence you are alive. Yeah. That I am puts out something, and there's a surety you can't find here. Yeah. Because you can feel okay, and if you change conditions and circumstances, you'll be unokay. In this case, this doesn't ever change. It's just available at all times right where we are, because we're being it. If you don't believe me, then, fucking complain to Ramana Maharshi or someone, because Ramana Maharshi supposedly said, being ourselves reality. Are there special, unique realities? Each and every one of us is a unique reality. No, being ourselves reality. So what is the event before all events? The event before all events is being ourselves reality. Being, not I was reality and I did something, I made a bad decision. It's again all about me, or I believe I blew it and I'm going to become reality again if I purify enough and da. This is just these are like the goose chases, the goose hunts in this world, yeah? Because all the while, when you're looking for the golden egg, you're using that which you're looking for to look for it, yeah? This is why the statement is, all those statements are that way. The seeker is the sought, being ourselves reality. What's looking is what you're looking for, being ourselves reality, yes? Yeah, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha, being ourselves reality. You could have said you can't use reality to seek reality. being ourselves reality. You know, all these little cryptic statements are rooted in the fact that's presented in these messages. Now, it may not be a fact to you, and this is why it's important to hear it in satsang, because you, the you that you're not, this experience here may benefit by recognizing you're not that. Because that which you're not can't get the relief it really needs. As what you're not. You get it from realizing you're not that. This is what allows this to travel lighter. It does not allow a lot of traveling lighter. But this will express the traveling lighter, but it will not come from this. It will come from the recognition, I'm not this. Yeah, that happened with me. There was a lot of urban renewal projects, and I thought I had wasted a lot of time being a drug addict. So when I got sober, man, it was time to get good, get better. Yeah, be of service, urban renewal project. Fucking on, never ending additions to something. And it was just a giant form of obsession with what I wasn't really, this idea of self. Had no idea until I did. But when I did, I haven't had any of those insane ideas anymore. I've had them, but they don't produce any budget and any transaction from the bank to fuel the urban renewal project. It's been canceled, turned into a fucking like garden or a park. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it hit me. And I'll tell you, man, it hit me. I was listening, and then it hit me as this is like a knowledge before knowledge. Exactly. I was close in a lot of ways. I could tell when I heard satsang, it hit a bell that I hadn't rang myself ever. All the knowledge I tried to get never rang that bell. And yet the bell got rung through satsang, and I was like, wow. And then that yes became an unspoken yes forever now. And that bell keeps, it's like, we have a really good chime in our house in the back, and it holds the vibration for a long period. You can follow, bing, it goes on and way on. Yeah, it doesn't go and then you're waiting for another one. It just reverberates. Even when the others happen, that one baseline reverberates through all the other tinkling. Yes, this is what it's like. You've struck gold, so to speak. Yeah, eureka, you hit something. That's reliable. That's before all the comings that have to go, all the highs that have to become low. It's before all that. It's got a whole different atmosphere. You're gonna breathe differently. It's not like a desirous, selfish, suck everything in, only to go. Yes, isn't that the way life is here? Whatever you suck in, it goes out somehow. Yeah, and you get caught into that imagery of the hungry ghost of Tibetan Buddhism with that huge belly demanding so much and a small mouth where you can't deliver it. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could have plastic surgery on the mouth, but how far can you go? You need to make it like a Holland tunnel. You'd just be a giant mouth or something. It still wouldn't work. Yeah, because the more you put in it, the bigger the belly gets. You can never fill it. Yeah. What about content and satisfaction? That's what this gives you as an action figure. It gave this one. It brought her back an ease and comfort I never knew before. I'd been driven since I was about 6 or 7, driven to escape something. Couldn't put my finger on it, but I felt it all fucking day. Couldn't put my finger on it though, but I felt it all day, and I wanted out, and I would do almost anything to get out, and I did. And you're not going to tell me I was a doer of any of that shit, because know how many people have done the same thing that I did, ended up the same place I did. There was one driver and we were the fleet of cars. We are not the driver. Yeah, you're not the doer, you're not the thinker, you're not the feeler, you're not the taster. Yet there's doing, thinking, feeling, and tasting. Yes. This is the beauty of the message. You're not arguing with your eyes. You're just questioning what's claiming to be the seer. Yeah, you're not arguing with this, all there is love, and it's all this. You're not going there. You see, no, I see all this shit, but I'm not the seer. And therefore I take my message really more from what's before seeing than through the eyes of seeing. I do. Because that bell that got rung is still vibrating. And then to me, this is the power of the message of non-duality. I never heard anything like it, literally. Because it says, you know, the goal is you're already there, so chill out. It's like all your arrivals are going to be met with on having never left. So if you're just in the habit of going and arriving, great, it's no problem. But that expectation that you're going to find something that's not where you already are when you arrive, that's dismissed completely. And you may still be in the habit of seeking and arriving, but every time you arrive, there'll be that one whispered sentence greeting you on having never left. Yeah, does it mean you stop arriving? And no, it may not. It means you're going to travel lighter through taking the trip and arriving, and the head projecting, oh, it's going to be much greater, better than where it is now. And you'll see it's all not you. And instead of listening to it like a news station, you'll be listening to it like Comedy Central. There's humor in all of it because it doesn't learn fucking shit. It learns very little on the edges. But the most important thing when it came to drug use and shit, it does not learn self can't get out of self. It does not get that. Yeah. If something fails it, if drug use fails it, it tries spirituality. When that fails you, it'll mix some spirituality with drug use ceremonies. Pretty fucking good. Yeah. And it'll just keep the same two dies, the same numbers, thinking I can throw a different fucking combo. But self can't get out of self. And this is a wisdom you need in your gut because you're not going to get it in the head. The head is occupied territory. The problem resides in the mind in recovery. So all the processes of the mind have been infected by something. You can't trust them. Yeah, you can't. You have to find trust and faith somewhere else. Yeah, so here's the message. And yeah.
You can't escape an imaginary place.
Yes, you can't escape from an imaginary place. Most of us, knowing it or not, have been trying to get out of what we're not in and trying to get into what we're not out of. That's the dilemma. Yeah. Now it can take on tons of forms and how it looks, but the basis is the same. We're trying to get out of what we're not in, and we're trying to get into what we're not out of. Basically, this is how fucking backwards it is. Yeah. That horse in front of the cart, there was never the cart in front of the horse. It's just appearing as if the cart is in front of the horse. What gets disputed is that appearance, and then you see the horse in front of the cart, and then you know that it's always been that way. Yeah, always been that way. This is the recognition and the reaction. It's almost like you eat something and the aftertaste is this. In the head, you never get that aftertaste. It's always been this way. The head will tell you it's always fucking been this way. And it has to spend hours of fucking advertising it to you through all the head and everything. Because in 1 second, if you look outside and look at a tree, you'll forget. Yeah. But this, you may never remember it, but you'll know it, that it's always been this way. This recognition of what you're not allowed you to sense what you'll always have been and will always be. That advertising and all of its fucking mis and disinformation, everything cannot conjure that up for long, that it's always going to be this way. But what you are does. Yeah. 1 second of that recognition will dispute all the bullshit you ever heard. Truly. Yeah. This is the power of it. Look at our power. We make shit out of nothing. All day, a lot of people right now on a Saturday, March 30th, whatever it is, in Northern California, their heads are making up shit out of nothing. They're anxious, super anxious, but it's never about now. It's entertained now, but it's about yesterday and tomorrow. Yes? Yes. On and on and on and on and on. This is a simple recognition of where you are. Yeah. Like we used to say this in AA for people that were way out there. during the day, just look at where your feet are. Just check your feet and and look, they connected here. Yeah, oh, I'm in Marin City. You know how helpful it can be, how out to lunch we are? We need these fucking constant triangulations until we don't. Because the head has got us going everywhere, this and that. And what does it? Not the head, the faith in the head. Yeah. And the faith is being directed to the head because we're identified with the selfish thing that it says we're going to lose interest in recovery. It's beautiful. Recovery says you're going to lose interest in selfish things. What is this representing? A selfish fucking thing. Isn't it? We think, oh, selfish things means no. The biggest selfish thing is this. We're going to lose interest in that selfish thing. What? Yeah. And then what does that do? Opens the door for so many possibilities. And now you've been told by what you've been listening to, that you're in this incredible mansion, but you've been locked into the fucking closet. And you have the nature of a marathon runner. And you've made up all these stories, why it's sucking, I feel terrible. All you need to do is get out. Yeah. The head keeps telling you, maybe later, if you do this and that. No, just fucking open the door and get out. And as soon as you see some space and a sunny day, you're gonna fucking run. No, you're gonna run. It's your nature, yeah? You're a marathon runner. This thing of sleep, like in an ever-tightening cocoon of the head. So, yeah, I'm so happy I heard this. It was very, very. You would see the value of getting loaded with the rawness of what was ripping you a new one all day. You now know why you were driven to keep getting loaded no matter what, because you didn't want to be left alone with that. Because it was fun, and there was so much faith in what it said about you. It was just like you would do anything just to get a few minutes from it. Yeah. Can you imagine taking away all your coping, drinking, and using and be naked for that attack? Yeah. No. So there is a solution. In non-duality, the solution is there is no problem. Yeah. In AA, there is a solution because there really seems to be a problem. In non-duality, if you go through all that, there is no problem. And therefore, the solution is that there's no need for a solution. So there's no adding or subtracting anything. That's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. But when you think there's a problem, you need a solution. This solution tells you you're not the problem. There you go. Beautiful. So here we are again, another Saturday. Keep showing. This has a little bit of the old smell of the room, ammonia, they have a better cleanser maybe, but it's still, before it was like fucking one of those snappers, you fucking come to if you pass out, the ammonia. Yeah. All right. Yes, Joyce has a question. I want you to know, yeah, I want everyone to get a look. There's Joyce. Joyce is, yes, all right.
Sorry, to be honest, my initial reaction when I could get something and I hear you is, okay, what do I do now? And I realized that you kind of said it in another way is, if I really hear you, I don't have to do anything.
Well, you see that, it's not, see, this is I can make a finer point there. Because now you think again, that which implied to say that I don't need to do something, right? Oh, no, I need to do something. And now it's also gonna two-face it by saying, oh, I don't need to do anything. No, you're not that said it needs to do something, and you're not that says it needs not to do something. Take it a step back. Yes, this is the non-duality. This is the losing side, I'm going to the winning side. There's no sides in this. You let one side, the explanation of one side, bring out the other side and negate both. Yeah. Usually when there's an emphasis on this side, this thing's hiding in the weeds, this activity of the head, and it loves it. Oh, let's go over all the fucking shit I've done and all this and then really blame others, but somehow, yeah, but no, we're using the knowledge of this to bring out this. So the reaction to the message is the larger message. So the message, you're not that, brings out that which is usually hiding very comfortably in the weeds, running a lot of shit, brings it out, and so you can see it. You can see it. So that which you see, you know yourself as an objective self. Yes, I've got all these just bad qualities or whatever. Now you see the seeing of it. The thing that's saying it's a seer and has all the knowledge about you. That's not you. That's the beauty. So there's a negation. It's like that self-inquiry. The self-inquiry, in one way, I read it put out by Ramana, was that which is being asked, who am I? And that which is asking, neither of them are you. So you're using, see, you see, you're using that the real aspect you really want to see is not you. You're using it, you're giving it an incredible position. It's now going to ask the other you, who are you? Yeah. Not to get more information about who are you, but to see you're not this, not the one who's asking who are you. You see the beauty of it? Most people, they take themselves to be the one that's recognizing all the faults or the character defects and da. And there's an assumption that that's you. That's the real you, maybe a little dirty with some shit, but you know, it's all that, yeah. But no, so by asking, who am I, to that, it allows you to see the one who's asking the question is not you either. Yeah. The emphasis is in let's go over all that I shouldn't have done and all this. No, that which is lording over that and doing that, that is not you. So neither of them are you. This is the non-duality. Usually you see at the moment only one or the other. You see the one that's the object that, you know, I've got this fear or whatever, or the one that's the subject. You don't see both of them at the same time. And so self-inquiry brings the mythical gunslinger and the supposed real gunslinger together, and they both are duds. and then there's something there or nothing there. So now you have a sense of the unadorned space and let's say the clouds of duality have been dispersed and you see the empty space. What?
I would imagine there would be fear there because you're no longer who you think you.
No,
I mean,
there's space there.
Ideally, yeah.
The one who's hoping it's not there, but seems to be getting dragged to there, says there's going to be a huge amount of fear, but really there's just empty space and empty of it. So it's fearful for its own existence, not existence. Existence is not of its existence. Yes. So the fear is
Fear, the other thing.
yes. Yeah. So if you just, like we say, stay in the operating table, don't get up, don't act out. In my case, that would be using or drinking or doing something, yeah? If you don't do that and you're still alive, it's gonna get better. Yes, Matthew.
Yeah, so Paul, I love the parable of the lion. It's beautiful, and I use it a lot in my own life to remind myself the story. And I get that I'm not this action figure, and even when I was in a life and death situation, I was able to sort of realize I'm not this action figure. And that brought a lot of peace to me at that time. But the lion, when you brought me to the pool and you grabbed me and you said, look, you didn't say, Matthew, look at us, we're lions. You said, Matthew, you're not that what you're looking at, right? You're not this action figure. See,
Well, that would be a bigger pond.
Yeah, it's a negation of who we are.
It would have been a bigger pond because we'd be looking at the reflection of you and me seeing we were a lion, and then the claiming of that from another point of view. You know what I mean?
Because we don't know. That's
Of course not. That's
only-
the great.
Right, we only know that we're not this. the lion knew it was a lion because it saw it was a lion, so it had that positive affirmation. As we don't have that luxury of knowing that. we're
Well,
blind.
exactly, but the beauty of it is, it explains everything. Why you can't know it is you are it.
Yeah.
See, that's
And
the
that's
beauty
just
of
a
it.
feeling, it's not a evidence, it's just a, like you say, a bell.
Well,
It's an unspoken yes.
I think that's the most powerful evidence. It doesn't have any weight or character as a statue, but it rings a bell that you've only heard echoes of. It rings a
And the
bell.
brain and the action figure, the brain being so clever is like, well, show me what you are. You can't, and that's where you have to say, look, I'm not that, ignore that, and go back into.
Well, you don't have to say anything. You see, you're not that's doing it. And then because being it is the answer to why you can't experience it, you can't grab it, you can't have it, you can't lose it. All of those experiences and frustrations a lot of people have run into is based on the fact that you are it. So in a way, the knowledge seen in a different light is very, very valuable, where before the knowledge of I'm not getting it was frustrating. Now I'm not getting it is a hallelujah because you are it. Yes. So it's the value of the recognition of what it means not to be something or to be something. That value resonates with this message because you are what you're looking for. That's why looking for it doesn't work. Yeah. So you have enough validation of the failure of the system. You just needed you needed to see it from a different point. See, most of us see everything from self-centeredness, and therefore we think that we are going to go merge into this transcendent stuff, and someone's selling another rung of the spiritual ladder, and we bought it, and we're going up there, and it's frustrating when something knocks us down or whatever, or it doesn't seem to ever end. But in fact, why it doesn't ever end is because it's not going anywhere. You don't go anywhere. See, I love all that. I love all the failure. It was the way my head would deal with the failure was rationalizing, excusing, blaming. I need to do more, be clearer, whatever, stop eating this, or maybe I love fucking tofu pies. Of course they gotta go now. It would have to be like a martyrdom and a sacrifice, some fucking shit. It never worked. Now all the failure is the bedrock of an understanding. Because why all of it didn't work is I am what I'm looking for already, unadorned. There doesn't need to be it's sort of like, I'm not like an 800 brick wall and there's one brick missing and I've got to find the one brick, and then no, there's none of that there. I am that. Yeah.
So for the ocean waving, it would be like two waves looking at each other, realizing they're the ocean, right? It would be the equivalent of, they couldn't look at it, they couldn't see what they are because they are what they are. So
Exactly.
Right.
So by seeing you're not the wave, it gives you an intimation of what you are, which we're not getting here by trying to describe what we are and try to image ourselves as what we are or intend to be what we are. It doesn't really work. So tell the truth about the wave, and the truth about the wave will negate the wave, and then the ocean will be obvious, not to the wave. You realize it's not going to be obvious to the wave because that's why there seems to be a wave.
So the wave would realize the ocean and it dissolves.
No, you realize you're not the wave. You realize you're not the wave as the ocean. Yes, it's different. If this is what I saw and I didn't see it to be true, which is the wave trying to acquire knowledge about being the ocean with the hopes of becoming the ocean, AKA as a wave. Yeah. And I saw that as a fundamental FLAW of what we're listening to, and I just lost interest in all that shit. I swear, I swear. I just, the wave will study the ocean for 24 hours, 7 days a week as a wave. And it'll be the most knowledgeable about the ocean. But as the wave, it will know everything about the ocean, not the ocean.
So you realize that it's not a wave, it relaxes into the ocean.
Of course. What's it? Yeah. Do you see 30, are there 30 oceans in a set? You know, when you're surfing, there's waves sets.
Yeah.
Usually they come 3 or 5 waves and, oh, here's a set of ocean coming. No. Because of the distinct movement of the ocean, we call it something. That to differentiate itself in a verbing sense, not as a noun. The head makes it a noun. There is a wave. No, there is not a wave. There is waving. There is waving, and waving gets built up and gets a big push and then goes as far as it can and then gets withdrawn. And all the while, all of that activity movement is of an ocean. It's not of a wave. Waving is ocean doing something.
And that's when the wave starts worrying, oh, there's the shore as a wave.
Of course,
But
that's what it worries.
It
It has an existential angst as a wave, and it can't get a great enough wave psychologist to get its fucking relief and still be a wave. But the ocean is the answer. Yes, yeah.
What's remembering forgetting the way?
There's nothing to, it's not a remembering of forgetting the wave.
That's a road. Forget it.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That would be something you'd have to do in time. And what the ocean is in this sense is of a timeless nature. There's no need to remember it. Yeah, it's not, hasn't gone anywhere. And when there's the idea that you need to remember it, there's more value in what you think you've been remembering than it. Yes, yes.
Oh, you
Yeah.
were saying earlier that it didn't matter if you gave up this or that because you're it doesn't matter. But that, this is a question, how about when it comes to alcohol and drugs? That mattered.
In this 80, 70-year event, it mattered greatly. In the larger scheme of things, it doesn't matter at all, does it? Did my spirit ever get drunk? Did I shoot up? Did I shoot up?
You hadn't stopped.
Yes, here, I'm saying it has its value for this 80 years on a stage. But do you believe the stage there's nothing that the stage is based on?
Could be 90.
Hmm?
Could be 90.
Hopefully, who knows? It matters what condition, has certain conditions, yeah. Yes, of course, here it had great value. Does this value transfer into timelessness? No, it doesn't. Yeah,
Okay, so. Might have great value for us to trade or whatever.
exactly. Hey, and there's things you're gonna do that will maybe allow things to get better or allow it. There's no problem with
At the top of the list, because that's the rumor.
Of course, because those things are now not from the doing, but from the doer aspect. So the doer is hoping to get somewhere through the doing. This is losing interest in the idea of the doer, and then you're apt to do whatever's going on. Yeah, yes. The doing, I'm not trying to get to a special somewhere and everywhere concerning the nature of what we are. The action figure is looking for relief now from a sinus attack, and it's getting it without doing much. It's finally coming today, after about 10 days. Yeah. So, and then once it's out of that condition, the condition's forgotten. I have a memory of not feeling well, but this doesn't mean shit right now. Yeah, it's difficult to. You know how when you have a car and you have it for a few years, its value depreciates? Yeah, the car hasn't changed. It was an $80,000 car. Now they won't even take giving in your old Tesla They offer you $8,000. What, it's dropped that far? No, but the value has depreciated because everything does here, yeah? Where's the standard of value that keeps itself? Not even gold. Gold goes up and down, yes? But the value of what we are is before and beyond all this. This value is, this is a dreaming event, yes? If, just like they used to say, if an Aboriginal sees a car, they want to break the windows out and sleep in it. They don't see it as a form of transportation. They didn't. Yeah, and they're probably wiser than the people who see it with something. They could have been doing better with mass transit, but whatever. It's all views and all values, and when it all comes to naught in a sense, and you drop out of it every day when you go to sleep. Do you have a stock market ticker going on? I don't usually. At night, my stock has gone down. You'll think your stock's doing well, and yet on another level, the value, you've plummeted. You have no value, Paul. You're 70 years old now or something. No value, da 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 da. It's all made up, isn't it? Well, we're not talking, this isn't, I truly, truly believe from my own events, because I've died a few times and I've been brought back. I've been in a coma for a period of time and I came back. And I don't see, it's like water and oil. I don't see them mixing. I don't believe this is a real thing, this event. This is dreaming, like the Course in Miracles describe it. That captures the feeling it has with me. Now, when the dreamt starts entertaining, it's the dreaming, it's attempting to get relief as the dreamt. At this moment, I'm not talking as the dreamt. I'm talking as from another aspect of mind that I see this as dreaming. Yeah, I do. I see if the worst thing in my life could turn into the best thing in my life, it mustn't have been a thing called the worst thing, nor is it a thing called the best thing. It was just given meaning from where I was. Yeah. So if I'm giving everything all the meaning it has, that's a pretty damn apt description of dreaming right there. Yes. So you're dreaming, you're giving an appearance of a tiger, the meaning that it's real in a dream, it scares the living shit out of you. Yeah. And you can try all your little, none of that's working. You're fucking super flipped out. It's standing right next to you. Yeah. Yet when you wake up, all of that fear that you tried every method, every skillful means to try to drop while in the dream about this, the fear of this tiger is dissipated because there wasn't a real tiger. Yeah. Super no need for skillful means. There wasn't a tiger. To me, this is dreaming, just like at night. Yeah. There's a period that you're not here at all, supposedly, which is probably where you get rejuvenated the most. The idea of you's been sent around the corner for a while. Your body gets rejuvenated, that put up with another day of you running it into the ground all fucking day. You know, it needs a rest. It's not rest, it's resting from you, from the head. So yeah, that's my feeling of it. So yes, here, the biggest thing that ever happened to me here was getting sober. Yeah. The biggest thing about here, non-duality. Non-duality has explained more stuff to me without looking for an explanation than any other book or thing I ever looked into. Just by the premise and entertaining it and being around, more gets revealed. Yeah. Yeah. And usually you run into a giant question mark. Don't know. Yeah, you come to the limitations of what you call you. Its thoughts go down grooves. There's not infinite grooves. They're fucking well-worn like paths to a trough for a cow. So you think about every different thing the same way, pretty much. Yeah. And then some of us with the self-centeredness, we see everything as how it pertains to us. So all the thoughts come back to the same little trough, and then they issue out and this and that. And if you sit and go, I'd like to just make the room for a different way of thinking, nothing shows up. It's just blank, you're sitting there, just, you can't come up with it, no, can't come up with shit, yeah? Or you just recognize the limitation and it's a hallelujah, because you're not this, yeah? If this was this, then I'm gonna, fucking bionic arms and legs and try to stay as live as long as I fucking can, whatever, yeah? And put every
It's happened.
moment of interest and attention into furthering my absoluteness as a temporary thing. Or I'm just going to come to some conclusions that all the files have a big question mark. That's all. I have no idea what's going on in certain ways. And I have no interest in trying to sniff it out, because I've seen my limitation as this, yeah? It doesn't matter how far you can see, how far you're going to see is based on the telescope's power. Yes, if you're using a telescope, it's what you're gonna see is gonna be determined by the telescope's lenses and shit like that, yes? Yeah, this is sort of like a telescope. It has its limitations. It's programmed. And that programming, it will glitch out, but it will go right back to it and try to get out of self as self. That's what it will do. I've seen it. I did my whole life was that. I did this and that. Some of the shit that I did that didn't work, I went back to. Spirituality, drugs, back to spirituality, back to drugs. To this, it was like something, every time it hit the wall, it blamed the vehicle. Oh, Buddhism isn't for me. Oh, this isn't for me. Heroin isn't for me. Coke is. Boom, 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 boom. It was just banging into the wall. The wall couldn't even made it more plain. It ain't working, but it didn't matter. I learned the hard way. Self cannot get out of self. It's not getting it. It's not going to leave this room and get non-duality. This is the whole point. The message is about what you're not, and what you're not's not going to get it. Yeah, it's not. It can't. You're dangling something. Well, in this case, it isn't too far. It's right here. Yeah, the head can deal with distance better with proximity. You are what you're looking for. It takes all distance out of it. It flips it out. It needs a little distance and time to fucking kick up the self. It has to manufacture this idea of you. In the inherent condition right now, right here, it doesn't have that time to do it. It doesn't. So you see the emperor with no clothes. You see it. You see it's not you. It's manufactured. It's made up. You see it from what you are. Yeah, and a lot gets revealed. Yeah, then that's usually not enough. You've got to be able to recognize the emperor has no clothes with clothes on, because you're not going to always have that peak moment of seeing the emperor with no clothes. You're probably going to meet it quite a lot with full regalia, and there's got the understanding and the knowing inside will allow you to see it no matter what it's wearing as having no clothes. Yeah, so you're not trying to redo a peak experience or fucking go to the right setting. We joke about it like going, you're walking in the appliance section of Walmart and on a Wednesday morning, and a toaster fell off, hit you on the head, and you seem to wake up. Yeah, and now you share with people, and people are going to Walmart on a Wednesday and they lingering around the appliance thing, and it has to be a toaster and all this shit. You know what I mean? This is what happens. Yeah. You want to prove it? It's a litmus test. Let's say I talk about a book right now. The first emails I'll get is, what's the name of that book? If I only show half of it, they're just dying. Send me that. Let me upgrade the Zoom. What is it? There's no fucking secret in the book. The secret was that right there. The open secret is the constant flowering of what you're not. Yeah. Yeah, just recognize it. This is the beauty of non-duality. It tells you very clearly you're not that. You're not that which is being asked, who are you? Or are you that which is asking, who are you? What? I thought it was me asking that. Who am I? No, this is not you. The asked is not you, and the asker is not you. We need to further this because it's not working. If it's one against the other, you see one as not favorable or desirable, it just emphasizes the other. It's the same thing. It's like a seesaw. And then it gets to a point, you're always feeling like this is going to be better. You don't realize when you move, yes, this is the absence of you. When you seem to get there, absence of you, yeah. Oh. Or there's a great party, but when I get there, it sucks. This is the dilemma we run into. I want to be there to fucking get it. So I can have a blog and describe everything. Or whatever, yes, whatever, something's gonna come. Something great's gonna come out of it. Yeah, so yeah. That's just the point I want to get across, is the subtlety of the message about what you're not. We're not describing what we are. How would you, if you actually heard when they gave you a very rough description of something and they said it's not describable, it's incomprehensible, can't describe it, you can't know it, yeah? Why do you want to keep thinking you're the exception to the rule, that you can describe it and know it? No.
Himself can never get that, it just can't.
Just get it. Well, we can get it, you get it, and now let's talk about what can be described and what can be understood as not you. All the regalia going on in the head. It's beauty. It gives us a plethora of evidence to galvanize the sense of I'm not that. I mean, all fucking day it's playing. Yeah. I mean, some people, oh, I need a constant reminder. You got one. Just greet it with I'm not that. It will be a constant reminder, and it will be somewhat constant. Better than having a candle in every room that with lit stare at. I need a constant reminder. No, it's right there. There, that which is saying it needs a constant reminder is describing exactly what you're not. Yeah, right there. This is just a new pair of glasses. It helps you see. I'm just sharing. This is how I saw it in a sense, and I'm attempting to be as close to that as possible, and how it reverse engineered over the years. I'm just sharing it. This isn't coming from, I use things that I learned from books to verify it, but this muffin was baked in an independent fucking bakery. Yeah. And I watched the baking and I saw what happened. And then I saw a lot of the shit that I feel would be important to have if you're in the world of seeking stuff like spirituality, to have some warnings, like, you know, the cigarette box has a warning. This could be hazardous to your health. Well, Ramana puts a great warning out there, which is the head is presupposing, I'm changing a little bit, but there's a presupposing of the non-existent thing. This, yes, being an existent thing. That's the conception of the whole thing. This is after the conception. After that conception, non-duality is essential. The message of non-duality after that conception. Before it, no, but after, yes. Because now we're living as if we are an existent thing, where there are no existent things. Everything that's appearing is a non-existent thing. Okay, what really is existing is existence itself, which is not electricity that's turning on the smoothie, and the toaster isn't a toaster or electricity or a smoothie electricity. It's an electricity in and of itself that drives the other things. And those other things have certain qualities, just like we do, specifics, and that thing drives the action figure world, life. The action figure is not what's driving it. Existence is. Existence is not a thing. It's an existence that may drive things, yeah? So here's the non-existent thing taken to be an existent thing. You are not doing that. The head is doing it. You woke up as a baby, you weren't fucking thinking anything, yeah? The head grew into something and it said, you know what? I can't tell the difference between the existing and what's existing. So I'm gonna go with what's existing. So I'm gonna say the thing is what's existing instead of existence to a thing. Yeah, let's roll with it, bro. Yeah, no one else is there to combat it. Okay. Kick in the programming, get the narrative. 4 years old, start thinking, sharing toys when you're 2 or 3. Suddenly my toy, my this, kicks in. Now it gets to a point, being this non-existent thing seems to be a drag in a lot of ways. So I start wanting to get some salvation. Yeah. But I want to get salvation as the non-existent thing. Yeah. And then, okay, we leap to the next statement, which is, if this is the case, the spiritual practices themselves are reinforcing the non-existent thing as an existent thing. How can they destroy it? There you go. Rama, I think, ran into that. He says, the only thing I think, there's only 2 things. Either if you're outmatched in shit, go with the surrender. If you want to go to the origins of your misery, use self-inquiry. But most spiritual practices, they can be an accessory. They cannot be the drive. Because this will be happening without us knowing it. We'll be taking ourselves, mistaking the awareness to imply that it's the thing that's aware. And in that misunderstanding, it's going to compound itself. It's not going to get relief, it's going to compound the condition more. Because you won't get relief from the non-existent thing, you'll try to get relief as the non-existent thing. Yes? This is the dilemma. So we want to have relief from, not as. And sometimes you need relief as. So you take a break, go to a sauna, do something like that. Have a good coffee, eat some food, all that's built in there. But the fundamental situation is of a mental variety. And yet a lot of us believe we have something to do with it and we don't. It's a mechanical activity. Yeah. And if you listen to it, well, he explains it so well. Sense of individuality produces the sense of free will. Many people want to question the sense of free will from a sense of individuality. Pointless. Why not just question the sense of individuality and you'll lose interest in the sense of free will? You will. You won't be confounded when you go to Baskin Robbins thinking for 2 hours you wanted that mocha and then suddenly order a vanilla, which will dispute the whole fucking weeks of studying. I have no free will. Yeah, so if there's a sense of individuality, there'll be a sense of free will. Which do you want to go to first? I go to the sense of individuality. Who am I? Who's asking it? Negate both. Yeah, all right, that's it, I think. Yes? Anyone, we're all good there?
Yes.
No hands up so far.
No hands up, good, we're gonna leave that way. Martin, thank you. Thank you so much. And oh yeah, where's the basket there, honey? Don't let anyone leave without bringing out the cash. Jamie and Barbara. Nice to see you. I would imagine you're Jamie, so we'll go with that. Yeah. Tomas. John S. in Florida, Gary C. Placerville. Marl, nice to see you again. J.A. in Canada, Axel, Germany, Sherry, San Diego, Anu, Judy L. Nice to see you, Judy. Yes? Yes. We got Ben. We got Terry, Chris, Alameda, Chris. Hey, I'm gonna put all my lattes on your bill there, Chris, at the firehouse. I'm taking that nod as an agreement. All right, thank you. Lisa, Alabama, nice to see you.
Hey,
Ilan,
Paul, you're on fire today, man. That was the best. That was the best. I love you.
John K. I think it's I'm being relieved from the sinuses. That's nice. David B. Hey, David, we're gonna come out, we're gonna come back east in June, so try to make a plan.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, for sure.
Let you know. But we're gonna go to Carolina, then go up to New Jersey again for the week, starting June 17th on to the end of that week. Yeah.
Awesome.
So maybe we can all get together, or some of us can.
Yeah, it'll happen definitely. It's some leg of that journey. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, Vlad, nice to see you, my friend. Thanks for everything, Vlad. Let's say. Yes, everyone misses Vlad. Yes, yeah. We still have the camper. It's waiting for you. We just wrote the word amazing on it, all over, inside. Amazing on the ceiling, amazing. Yeah. Eric P, nice to see you down there. Roman Mueller. Roman Mueller, my hat, if I had one, would be off to you. Yes. Esther. It is, well, I didn't do it for Roman earlier. Esther, nice to see you, Esther. I'm gonna see you in June or so, Esther. I'm coming down there. Let me see, we got Patricia G.
Thank you, Paul.
See you, honey. Yes. Mike M, Rick, Paula, Floyd, Dennis, Zoe. There she is, Zoe in Japan. It looks like you got a room full of futons, the walls. Yeah. Mike G, some plants, San Clemente. Hey, thanks for having us today. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
It was great, man. Thank you.